Hey guys, it's West here, back with another episode of From the Crumbs. Today we're back with some pretty good progress that didn't feel like it had to be forced as much. I've been grinding a lot lately, but I didn't feel like I had to make a lot of progression within a few days in order to make this video. Progression sort of happened naturally for me for once, and we've been really lucky with scrolls lately, and I'm really excited to say we've gotten 3 new Nat 5s since the last video. I already feel the salt and dislikes coming. I don't say that to brag, I say that because I'm excited that I got them, because my RNG has been really bad so far with progression on my account, with the ridiculous number of scrolls that I've summoned. I don't really talk about all the scrolls I summon that don't get anything, but it's been, hundreds of scrolls with nothing that you guys don't see off camera. I don't buy a lot of packs. When I get scrolls, I summon them over time, and I generally haven't gotten anything great. But over the last few weeks, I did get 3 total. We're going to go ahead and talk about those. Before I go into my monster box, though, I'm going to let you guys know I did get this package. I treated myself to a package because it's been a long time, and this is a really good deal for just value-wise. You're getting about $100 worth of stuff just from the Devilmon crystals if you're comparing it to the normal $100 3000 crystal pack. In terms of efficiency with like the daily pack worth of value, and the daily pack is technically twice the value with $100 worth of daily packs as the $100 3000 crystal pack, if that makes any sense. So you would need the extra two things that you chose above to make it as good. But anyways, it's just a really high value pack compared to all the other packs we get. So I chose the 2 Wind Legendary Scrolls, attempting to get Illusion, of course, and 35 Mysticals. I'll go ahead over what I got. I did get a new Nat 5 from that pack, the very last Wind Legendary Scroll. I got the Wind Cannon Girl, new monster, new Nat 5. It's really cool. It's nice to have a new Nat 5. She's really niche in my opinion right now, because she wants to deal damage, and she does increase damage based on the attack of her entire team and the number of allies that are alive, but at the same time, she wants to be hit a few times because her damage increases by 15% every time she's hit. So it's like, do you want her to be fast and have a lot of attack and deal a lot of damage? Do you want her to be slower, more of a bruiser build and take hits so she could deal more damage? It's a really weird kind of niche mechanic. We'll see if she gets changed and reworked, or if we see if there's any like great places she could be used. So far, the 5 hits on the second skill, 3 hits on the first skill, kind of looks like it could be used in Necro plus the AoEs, but unless you're running her in a full nuker team and her third skill really gets huge benefit, I mean, we'll see. I haven't seen any crazy builds with her yet, so I'm kind of holding off on putting too many resources into her before I see where other people are using them. I'll let other people bite the bullet first. The other 2 Nat 5s that we got recently, we got Alicia, the Water Polar Queen, and we've got the Water Paladin as well. So those are 2 pretty good Nat 5s. Alicia is really good for the Fire Rift Beast as well as farming Feymin. Obviously, she was the staple Feymin farmer, and she still kind of is the staple Feymin farmer, just because she's got the 2 AoEs that deal a lot of damage, and she gets extra turns if she kills stuff with her third skill, and she's pretty cool. She's a nice unit that's going to get built eventually on my account. She's probably going to replace the Water Dice Magician in my Fire Rift Beast, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just sub somebody out and try to put more damage in there. As you guys may know, I talked about recently, I am farming those Rift Beasts a lot more, trying to get higher scores so that I can farm reappraisal stones, because it's like slowly becoming more of an important step in my progression, as I do get a few legendary runes per month that I can reappraise consistently and try to get the highest quality runes that I possibly can. The Water Paladin, I think, is a really fun, exciting monster for Guild War and Arena defenses. I think she can be really fun and really niche, mostly in Guild War defenses. Also RTA, she's really good, because her first skill when she gets awakened will never glance. It does not glance on any enemies. That's part of her awakening bonus, which is really exciting. So we'll see. She also has a strip on the second skill, strip and provoke, and then gets a revenge buff. So she'll revenge whenever she's up. So, I mean, probably going to be some sort of violent build, whatever I do with her. And then, of course, she puts shields on allies whenever they're under ability effects, which is nice. It's based on HP, so make her really super tanky. I'd probably do like a speed HP build on violent revenge. I might go on revenge, even though she gets the revenge buff from her second skill. I would maybe go energy or guard otherwise, and then go for high defense subs. And probably a lot of accuracy and resistance if I can as well. But that's asking a lot from Violent Runes, since I'm already spread pretty thin on those. But she's like a lot of fun. She's probably going to get skilled up soon. Just because I really want to play around with more defense-oriented units, because I haven't really built any Guild War or Arena defenses, so I don't know, I think that'll be fun. I have been back in Raid a little bit more. I'll go over some of the monsters that I changed around for Raid. Here is my Hua build currently for Raid. I sacrificed about 40 speed in order to give her a little bit more HP, a lot more defense. She had almost no defense before, and of course a lot more attack. I gained about 500, 600 attack when changing the rune build around, and she still has a decent amount of accuracy, so she's still usable in Giants, and she also hits harder. In addition to that, I changed around some of my other units. You can see my Lisa here is on a tankier, higher resistance build. With my experience in Raid, the most important thing and the big reason why my team was having any issues at all was because the cleanser was getting stunned and not violenting on a stun, and you shouldn't have to rely on violent procs in order for your team to be successful, so I increased the resistance amount. I understand that there's a lot of resistance leads out there, but in the case that there's not a resistance lead, I had a lot of runs where it was an HP lead, a defense percentage lead, and a crit rate lead, and in those cases having this high of a resistance is it gives me peace of mind more than anything that my cleanser is not going to get stunned most of the time. I also occasionally use Delphoy. It was kind of back and forth between the two. I'm more okay with Delphoy having slightly lower resistance because she has that immunity. I know the immunity gets stripped before you get stunned, but the immunity and extra healing gives me a little bit more peace of mind when it comes to having lower resistance. But she does have more speed than Lisa, as you might be able to see. So I have two raid cleansers that I change out depending on the people I'm playing with, depending on the team orientation, whether we're going for more of a damage, if we're going for more of a damage oriented team, I'm going to go with Lisa. If we're going for more of a safer team because their team maybe doesn't have runes up to par, or maybe they're using a raid 4 team in raid 5, then I will put in Delphoy just to have a slightly safer team, because she does have that heal, which is pretty nice, and the immunity does help us stay away from some of the debuffs like the slow. So that's what I've been doing in raid in terms of cleansers. We have one other damage to talk about, and that's the Water Kung Fu Girl. If I can find her, she's right here. She's doing pretty well. Her defense is low, but her HP is really nice, and her attack is higher than it was before. So she's on Fatal Guard, if anyone's curious. I have been getting grinds along the way, and as I get grinds for the rune, I make sure to grind the rune, because I do want her to have the most damage I possibly can have her in raid, because she's my primary damage dealer. Another damage dealer I was thinking about I haven't built up yet is Brandy. I pulled her a while back. I haven't had the runes or the resources to give her the skill ups or anything that she needs so far, so she hasn't really been touched. So I've been using the Water Kung Fu Girl. I also use the Water Kung Fu Girl in the Fire Rift Beast because her damage output in general is really, really good, because her damage increases based on harmful effects. And I just skill her up with Kung Fu Girls as I get them. So I haven't touched her with Devil Mons or anything like that so far. The twins haven't been touched too much. Wind Panda's still on this build that I'm not very happy with, but it's a good enough build to work in some Guild Siege. I know the runes aren't plus 15. The runes aren't plus 15 because they're not good runes. This rune is meh. This rune's getting reappraised as a legendary rune because it rolled crit damage and it has flat defense, and I think it has potential to be just better since it's legendary. And same goes for this rune. This is another legendary defense percentage rune that needs to be reappraised. So he's kind of just holding the 6-star legendary runes, and I don't have a speed in slot 2 either, because I wanted to make him tanky enough to take some bigger hits in some of the comps I bring him into. I basically just bring him in as a wind tank for most of the comps that I bring him into, and he provides the healing and sometimes a defense break. I know, it's sad, poor Wind Panda. He's not getting my best rune priority because I don't have enough violent runes to give him right now. I don't want to sacrifice any of my raid cleansers runes in order to build my Wind Panda stronger, but I will, as I get better runes, rune him out more. And of course he's getting reappraisal priority right now over any other unit, so that's all fine and good. Orang is runed up. We're going to talk about why in a bit. I'm pretty excited about this team that I've been working on for another account, on this account, just testing out and seeing what's going to go on. You can see I pulled Brandy out of storage because I want to make sure that I remember to mess around with her stuff. She's got really good debuffs. As for a damage dealer, she has really good debuffs for the raid and the Rift Beasts. So mostly for raid. She's got the good debuffs. She's got the defense break on the first skill, which is nice. It's really common among units that you use in raid. There's a lot of raid units that have defense break on the first skill. She's got glancing and attack break on the second skill. Two things that are very important to give your team more survivability. And then insane damage on the third skill because you can't sleep the boss, so you're doing 50% more damage, plus an additional 30% per harmful effect. Say there's 5 harmful effects, which there very likely is, and one of them happens to be branding. I mean, you're getting 150% increased damage on this skill from this, and then your total damage is increased by 50% because they can't sleep, and then it's increased even more by the brand for another 25%. So you're getting ridiculous amounts of extra damage. Depending on the team you bring, but a lot of times I've been raiding with people who have Amarnas, so there is a consistent brand up. Some people raid with Hraesvelg, which is kind of weird for me, but it works in their team. I'm not going to complain. They use them as a support buffer, and they have a brand that way. And so, if there's a brand on the team and you have Brandy, in addition to that, your damage can just be insane with this third skill. So she has a lot of potential in teams. I just don't have the runes right now to give to her, but in the near future she's going to be getting runed up to increase the damage of my teams and stuff like that. Firevelk, I've been looking at some teams. I've been thinking about RTA a lot. You guys know that I want to get into RTA because it's kind of the goal of the game. As you progress through the game, you're grinding through dungeons, trying to get better scores in dungeons and get better runes. You get better runes so you can do PvP. That's kind of like the end goal of the game, is to be able to do PvP and compete with other people and get whatever high ranks and get your RTA limited skins. And I do plan on using her a lot on RTA, so she's going to be on probably a speed crit damage HP build in the future. But there's a few comps that I want to play around with her in it. Of course, Vanessa Triana is a very strong combination of units. That's the Wind Harpy. Wind Harpy, not Wind Harpy. No, Wind Harp Magician. There we go. I got to it. And I do have her as well, so we'll see about that. You guys see I have the 3,000 crystals that I got as a result of buying the pack, so I'm not touching premium packs at all. All those scrolls are going straight into dragons, or maybe giants, as the new event has come out. For those of you who didn't watch the video uploaded yesterday, 100 million downloads special event is out. Go do it. Go do it. Get your free Lucian, get your free Galleon, whatever you're looking for, go get it. Because it's guaranteed. So I'm going to be getting a Lucian from that. Lucian's going to be used in a few of my teams. He'll be used in Giants and Dragons. I'm going to use him as a wave clearer for Dragons. And I'll have enough single target damage from the Twins. To talk about the comp I'm probably going to use. If you guys did not notice in the past video, I do have a second Talia. And she's ready to go. She's going to be 6-starred next and runed up, and I'm going to be taking out Shina. This is because I want more serious single target damage. Ideally, Hraesvelg and Verd would be replaced with Lucians. Right now it's just going to be Verd is replaced with the Lucian, and we're going to use Hraesvelg for the attack buff and the brand, so my team does a lot of damage. But we might not even need that. We might actually end up having Verd in the team anyways, and just having the Lucian lead, because both the Talias buff themselves, so I don't need the attack buff to do the crazy damage. And if I give my Lucian my Pungbakes runes, which I'm very, very most certainly going to do just because Lucian is Lucian, and you guys know how obsessed I am with him, then he'll be able to one-hit the waves. I did all the math for that. Between the attack power lead and the skill ups and all that, the ignore defense damage will be enough to not need attack buff in order to one-hit the waves with amp magic. So I'm just trying to make my teams more efficient and quicker. One other thing, a little spoiler for those people who not as much a spoiler, but as a I'm talking about the future of what I'm going to do on the Freshmade account. And I don't usually cross the series, you guys might notice. I usually try to keep them separate, but because my account is where it's at and I have all the monsters that I'm probably going to be using in the speed team for the Freshmade account, I went ahead and I've created this composition. I played around with a bunch of different comps, and I've been trying to come up with a farmable composition that can clear giants really, 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 really fast, or as fast as possible, without Galleon, without Lucian, without any of those non-farmable units. Hraesvelg's farmable guild shop, guys, and this is the team I came up with for the fastest speed, and this team doesn't even have the best turn order or best rune quality for this. It was a 1 minute 7 second time this morning. It was like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I hadn't gone to bed yet because my mind was just racing. I had that insomnia where I could not fall asleep because my brain was going at 200 miles an hour, and I needed to sink my mental energy into something. So I started thinking of all these different teams, started thinking of all these monsters, and I was really hard pressed to not put a Rang in a team because a 40% leadership skill for any sort of attack is crazy. But for wind attack specifically, wind attack being that strong for giants, I had to. So the only issues that I see with the team is that Bella just needs a lot of accuracy. That's the big thing. Actually, my team is not very efficient. At least this specific team is not runed up efficiently for this because to do this team, you want the turn order correct, and you just want to make everybody as fat as possible. You want the most attack, the most crit damage you can possibly have. On Lupinus, you want to prioritize having crit rate, really, really high crit damage, not too much speed, but a decent amount of speed, and you want to have accuracy. You want to have 45% accuracy on Hraesvelg, on Lupinus, on Orang. You can even make an argument for Sig with attack buff, but with Sig, I'd just go with crazy crit damage and crazy attack. But turn order being Bella always goes first, then you have Hraesvelg go second, and then you can have a Ring, and then you have Lupinus, and then you have Sig go last. Sig being your hardest hitter, maybe, if you want to say hardest hitter, but Sig being kind of your finisher for the team. Now, the reason you want that turn order is because you want Bella to go first and let the defense break. Hraesvelg can do some crazy damage with a nuke, and after maybe you have a Brand second, your Orang goes, your Orang can just nuke through things, or put a defense break with their third skill if Bella hasn't defense broken the target yet. You're going to have plenty of AoE and AoE attack bar reduction with Lupinus. Yes, I know you're not going to be able to clear any waves, obviously. If you're not using Illusion in your team, being able to clear waves really, really reliably is not super realistic, but this team still clears waves really quickly because we do have 3 AoE damage dealers. We've got the 2 AoEs from Lupinus essentially with her first and third skill. We've got Hraesvelg's AoE with his third skill, and we've got, of course, Sigmaris' AoE with his third skill, with her third skill. So we have plenty of AoE abilities that can clear it quickly. You can see right here we have 2 defense breakers that are pretty reliable if they have enough accuracy, as well as having the Brand on Hraesvelg just makes clearing the mid-boss, clearing anywhere really fast. We've got the self-healing from Hraesvelg and from Orang, plus we have the healing from Paladin, so you can see even if we take 2 tower shots worth of damage, Bella's going to top everybody off. I mean, it's crazy. It just adds up. We got the dryer singing to me in the background. The dryer's excited too. It's downstairs, but that thing sings. You could just see right now. You can just see the crazy amount of harmful effects we get. We get dots on the boss, so just in case something doesn't go quite well, we have all these harmful effects too. I have not seen the team fail yet. I've seen stuff similar to this where we get defense broken attacked and the turn order doesn't work correctly because we don't have it synchronized correctly, but I mean, you guys can see the huge damage output, and I'll show you guys the runes on this to show you guys that the runes on this are not at all efficient for this. But, I mean, you can see fast. You can see 1 minute times with this team. We'll go ahead through everybody right now. Sig, low attack. His speed is just enough, just fast enough. You can see we have almost 100% crit rate, which you want for giants. You want to consistently crit that giant boss if you want to have the fastest possible times, which is easier with Sig because he has the 15% built in. So hitting 100% with Sig is like hitting 85% with any other normal non-crit rate awakening into damage dealer. It's like hitting 85% with a wind monster, I should say, just because you awaken into it anyways. So if you had the same runes on this guy and you didn't have the 15% crit rate awakening, then he would have enough. He would have pretty much enough crit rate anyways. He'd be at 99% crit rate or 91% crit rate. No, 91% with element advantage. Wow, I'm totally screwing myself up. He'd still be at 96% if he was a wind monster in Giants B10 right now. Yes, because he'd be 15% lower. So yeah, he'd be at 81% if he didn't have the crit rate awakening. So he'd be almost enough to have 100% as a wind monster against Giants. Anyways, so his Rune Requirements not that much harder. He's got all that base attack. You'll notice a trend here. And Orang as well. Orang has all of that base attack too, so she can just output huge numbers because her multipliers are great, her base attack's great. She's on a speed crit damage attack build. Crit damage isn't maxed. She's on the 8th or 9th damage dealer set that I have, so she's got really low priority. You can see her attack is next to nothing. Her crit damage is really low. Her accuracy is not high enough, and she's still hitting those big numbers. What I'm trying to stress is this team can do some crazy stuff. Other monsters in the team, Lupinus. All these monsters don't have skill ups too, or that many skill ups, I should mention. Third skill's not maxed, second skill's not maxed, first skill has a very few skill ups. No skill ups on Lupinus. So when you max these monsters, they're going to have better uptime. Like the third skill is going to be up, 25% faster. The second skill is going to be up 33% faster and have 100% harmful effect rate, which means she's going to be... actually, it doesn't go down, but she has 100% harmful effect rate, which means better uptime on the silence for things like TOA, since I use Lupinus to nuke TOA anyways. Like I said, Bella, you're probably going to need like 80%, 90% accuracy on Bella because you want the mid-boss to constantly be death broken, and the mid-boss has over 100% resistance, so every bit of accuracy you can get on Bella is nice as an extra bonus. So stacking accuracy on Bella is going to be great. But you can see the team does crazy damage. My Hraesvelg's on a fast build. He's on a speed crit damage attack build. You could put him on a speed crit damage fatal or attack crit damage attack swift and make him deal even more damage since his multipliers are amazing. So your AoE becomes better, your single target becomes better. His accuracy isn't 45%, so he's not maximum efficiency. But you can just see the damage output from the team and the in my opinion, the effectiveness that this team can provide. But I'm really excited about this because it's a completely free-to-play team that will scale with your runes. And I haven't seen many of those that don't include the things like Ifrit summons or things like Hall of Hero monsters that some players might have. And this is a completely obtainable team for anybody at any point of the game. They can obtain these units. Now the rune requirements are going to be mid-game level runes, I would say. Now you might be able to make this work with earlier game runes, but just in terms of making the runs really secure and having enough damage to just nuke the crap out of everything with mid-game runes, it's pretty safe to say that you can run this team and it's going to be pretty quick, at least compared to other teams that also involve completely farmable units. Like I said, Hraesvelg, you can get him in the gift shop. You guys already know that Lupinus, Orang, and Sigmaris are all fusible, so anybody can really obtain them. And like I said, this is going to scale with your runes, so the more damage you do, the better your towers are, the faster, the more efficient, and the more effective your runs are going to be. The other cool thing is a lot of these units are going to be used in other places of the game, like Sig, you're probably going to use him in Dragons on your first Dragons team. You could use him in TOA because HP percentage-based nuking is really good for TOA hard. Orang you're going to use for some of the Rift Beasts. Hraesvelg you're going to use for the Rift Beasts. Bella's just going to be used everywhere. So all these units are multi-purpose, and yeah, I'm pretty psyched about this. I did just want to stick this bit in here because this is what I've been doing. I do a lot of testing for other accounts and trying to help answer questions. If I get questions in the comments about a unit or a team, I like to try to test them on my account if I can, so I could better answer the questions. So that's what I was doing for the Fresh Made account. Other than that, nothing has changed. Same old account, still farming for Violent Runes as best I can. You can see I don't have a large quantity of them. It looks like I do. I really don't. I don't have any coherent sets. That's about it for this episode, guys, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, comments, or are curious about any other teams you guys think I should try and build in the future, some fun stuff, then make sure to let me know in the comment section. But thank you guys all so much for your ongoing support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, it's West again. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more.